Welcome back to our pristine productions here. I want to shout out to all the fans here. Now we're going to be doing a new tutorial today. And we're going to be talking about some rock music here. And a lot of producers struggle with these things struggle with these things sometimes, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about how we get certain things to blend, how we get that nice vocal effects. And shout out to all the fans. Let's get down to business. Now, sometimes people have their vocals like actually distorted, but it's actually a effect. So I'm gonna bring in the vocals here. Remember, you can hit me up. Let me know your questions and thoughts. Get into it. So we're going to break down the session here. Let you know how we get the sound to sound how it sounds. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause there. I'm sorry, not stop. So let's get into it. Mixing the rock here. So let me get into the scene here, and I'm going to bring up the tracks here. Let me bring in the drums and the guitars here. Remember, you can hit me up, guys, if you have any questions. So I'm gonna park here. Let's I'm going to do something real quick here. I'm going to turn off some compression here, so bear with me. Bring up the volume. Now, in rock music here, you got to make sure you're mixing stuff with a little bit of dirt and all that stuff. So first of all, here I have the guitar here to break it down real quick here. I'm a big fan of the WWE. I remember the D-Generation X riff. Are you ready? So I did a little bit of EQ here with it. Sending it to a little bit of stereo spread here. And I have the bass here. So what I'm doing here with the bass, boosting a little bit of mid-range here, dirtying it up with a little bit of NLS here. Off. On. It's all in the grid, guys, and here's a trick. A lot of rock music, they use the synthesizer to give it a little bit more body on it, so I'm using a synth here. I take out a little bit of the top end here, so let's skip some of the mid-range area here. So let's get down to the vocals here. So I'm going to break down the vocals here real quick here. I'll turn off all the sends here. First thing is first, I'm going to enable my CLA 76 here, which I'm compressing here.
Fighting for my rights, fighting to stay alive.
A little bit of EQ, auto-tune.
Fighting, yes, I'm fighting.
Now the vocal need a little bit of help here, so I'm using the Waves EQ here. What I'm going to be doing here, I'm rolling off a little bit bottom end here, and I'm boosting about 330, lower mid section here about 3 dB, adding a little bit of weight to the vocal. Also, I'm going to be boosting a little bit of 390, get a little bit of upper mid range, a little bit of 3K to get a little bit of bite. You want to make sure your vocal has clarity here. So and a little bit of sweetening in the 6K range, about 7 dB. Although I'm boosting a large number, it's a subtle difference here. So let's play the vocal.
Walking in the night.
I'm going to engage the EQ4 here.
Yeah. Bleeding inside my heart. Bleeding. Yeah.
EQ off.
Let me break it down, break it to the sound. And
EQ on.
Let me break down into rock and roll. I can't fold.
So it sounds a little bit basic. Now I'm using the doubler here. I'm going to create that wider sound. I want to widen my vocals here.
The rock and roll.
So I'm going to enable that.
Fighting for my rights, fighting to stay alive.
Off.
Fighting.
And I can adjust the frequency that I want the chorus to affect.
Walking in the night, trying to stay alive. Yeah. Bleeding inside my heart.
And on top of that, I'm going to add a little bit of delay here to get a little bit more space, a little bit of ping pong here.
Let me break it down, break it to the sound, and let me break it down, bust it to the sound.
Bring the guitar here.
Rock and roll, I can't fold. Rock and roll. Fighting for my rights, fighting to stay alive.
So the 1176 here, we're getting the vocal to cut through the mix here.
Walking in the night, trying to stay alive.
Let's bring in the synth here, see if the vocal's going to stay.
Bleeding inside my heart. Bleeding. Let me break it down, break it to the sound. And let me break it down, bust it to the sound. Rock and roll.
Now here's the fun part here. I'm going to bring in the GTR here on the vocals. And this is the magic trick, you can say, or one of the ways. You want to use distortion plugins to get your vocals to get that nice gritty sound. So when it comes to rock music, it's not necessarily singing till you're clipping your mic. You're actually using a distortion plugin. So I'm going to isolate the vocal real quick here. And
I can't fold. Rock and roll.
So let me turn off the delay for right now.
Fighting for my rights.
So I'm gonna add a gate comp here.
Fighting to stay alive. Fighting.
A little bit of compression.
Fighting.
Here's a trick.
Walking in the night.
I'm gonna add the overdrive.
Trying to stay alive. Yeah. Bleeding inside my heart.
Now the trick with this, now I can adjust how many of distortion I want by the tone and drive. Let's mess around with that a little bit. Spin the guitar in. Increase the drive. Can go real dirty. Let's adjust the tone. Giving you a darker distortion. And you can add different amps and distortion here. Let's try this one here, see if we can get anything out of it. This one's too dirty. Let's try the mel. I can adjust the frequency. bit too much. I like the overdrive here.
Walking in the night, trying to stay alive, yeah, yeah. Bleeding
We can use both. And you can add additional effects to this thing here. Like, let's try maybe a flanger. Let's see what it sounds in the track here.
Fighting for lies, fighting to stay alive. Fighting, yes, I'm fighting, yeah, yeah. Walking in the night, trying to stay alive, yeah, yeah. Bleeding inside my
Off.
heart, bleeding. Let me break it down, break it to the sound. Let me break it down, bust it to the sound. Rock and roll, I can't hold. Rock and roll. Fighting for rights.
So you can hear the vocals cutting through nicely on the guitar here. I did a little bit of delay here from the H3000 from the Eventide. Roll off a little bit of top bottom end, boost it a little bit of 3K, a little bit of 3K to get a little bit of bite on your rock guitar. Check out how it sounds with the synthesizer. So to recap here, what we did with vocals, we add a little bit of 1176 to boost that volume.
Break it down, break it to the sound. Let me break it down, bust it to the sound.
And also what we did, we used the VEQ here to get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more bottom end on the vocal, a little bit more mid-range,
Rock and roll, I can't fold.
while sending it to the doubler here.
Fighting for rights, fighting to stay alive.
And remember guys,
Fighting, yes, I'm fighting.
you can use whatever distortion plugin you have. You can try Sound Toys, you can try, tape machines, get some grit on it. Guitar effects seems to work very nicely.
Fighting for rights, fighting to stay alive. Fighting, yes, I'm fighting.
Let's turn on the delay.
In the night, trying to stay alive. Yeah, yeah. Bleeding inside my heart, bleeding. Let me break it down, break it to the sound. Let me break it down, bust it to the sound. Rock and roll, I can't hold. Rock and roll.
So I want to stop there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this was rock vocals with distortion effects. Remember, you can hit me up, guys. Support my page if you want me to mix and master for you. I charge at reasonable rates. And I'll catch you guys on